Well, spring is finally here, and you can tell by the trees and the sunlight. Yeah, it's gonna get spring. You probably can't see it, but the trees are growing. So sooner or later, this place will now look like a forest again with its trees. However, we're not here to talk about trees. Hello, everyone. This is Floxcat, and I'm super sorry for making this a little bit late. As you guys probably noticed, I've been trying to boost up a little bit with certain something that I noticed that's been finally getting a trend. But of course, like I said, I will always keep the promise of continuing other videos as well. Though I will say I'm glad I'm half now, actually at the time of recording, halfway to 600 subscribers, which is nuts. But of course, we're not here to talk about that or trees. We're here to talk about the Mandela Catalog, which actually has been a while, but now I definitely need to do it very quickly because in a couple of months later, there will be a brand new volume. Which itself is very interesting, considering that the volume's name is Free, Free, Free. Yeah, we got a lot to talk about today. It's very interesting to say the least. So let's go ahead and figure out what's going on and kind of talk about it. Alright, so the first thing most notably is the teaser, which we'll start on, but there are two videos, and basically it kind of foreshadows what will appear in the third volume. And of course, this is talking about, and technically it is really going to be about the whole police officer thing, which is very interesting because I think that's a good way to start them things, because I really do want to see how that will go. We also see this, which is Newspeak March 95 issue. Off-duty Mandela officer withholds information about an alternative evasion, which is not surprising, but it is starting to see that people are starting to realize that these police officers aren't trustworthy. And So, anyways, as it continues there, as I continue it, we'll try to. Let me move this. Next up, we see pretty much this, which I think might be a video, and then we'll get into this, and this is super weird. This is like some sort of earplugs, I'm hoping, or some sort of weird transmitted thing. I don't know. It's some sort of graph, which I think is probably the police updated training guide, and we'll get to the reason why I say that in a bit. But yeah, super weird. Then we get to the dark county thing. We get to back to there, which obviously is during the Mandela calendar. Then we get to another Christian thing, and past that we get security camera, which makes sense. Which I think there's going to be a Christian game with this. Then we get this creepy guy, which I think that's an alternative. Yeah, pretty much it's trailer stuff, what you think of. Hopefully, hold on a second. Oops, hopefully it's not upside down. Anyways, the point is, it's pretty much interesting to say the least. So we'll pretty much have to look into all that. And we get to this area. And again, I did watch the trailer, but I didn't watch it too much. It's what you expect from a trailer, to say the least. So I'm kind of reacting the way you are. And there's that alternate. Then we get to a scanning of the room. Definitely interesting to say the least. I'm actually getting worried because I have seen a little bit of this trailer, but and of course code X, error code free, volume free. Our next two videos aren't something that big, but it's definitely interesting to say the least because this is taking place, and it says 2009, which is unique to say the least. And I say that because what's interesting about this is this video cuts in and out of things. Like, for example, there's literally a star, and then we get to this scene, which is definitely interesting to say the least. Like, it doesn't add up, to say the least. I think this is kind of cutting into a person getting attacked by an alternate. I actually did watch this video, and by the way, I did kind of skip it a little bit, but it's nothing too major. Like, we keep coming back and forth with the whole thing. Like, just zooming by and trying to get to the other part because I think it really is an alternate attack. And by the way, that is the most choppiest football camera I ever seen, or soccer ball camera. Well, it is both, but anyways, we get to this. Well, here it is, and we see that. We do see that happening. And of course, there's nothing too weird, but although it does say here, if it does show it, no. Well, it said something about a score and stuff. And anyways, the next video, Ghost Caught on Tape, is pretty much just what you expect. To be honest, I skipped this originally because I thought this was going to be something not connected to the Mandela Catalogue, and I thought this was the guy doing this funny things. But actually, not only do I believe this is literally it, but there's actually something worth noting that I will get to in a bit. However, before we do that, we got screenshots, because obviously we both know that I'm going to keep an eye of the screenshots and all that. And pretty much, here's the first screenshot, which happened all the way back in January. And so far, we don't see anything other than we see Jesus is born corrupted, which might be the actual video we saw that showcased the alternative. This is actually very interesting, considering that this will mean that video we saw is corrupted. And then we get to this. Now, here's the thing. There's literally, it looks like there's nothing, to be honest. Now, what I did do is I did a handset, and as you can see, there is a person right there and a bunch of colors. So I have no idea what this could mean. He did release this also, and the timing was February. Then, around that same time, he did this, which is the police Mandela Catalogue, which says, notice, this is an account currently under investigation for the public release classification information. If you have any information regarding Alice Kessler that could be used for the ongoing investigation, please contact your figure authority immediately. And, that's very interesting to say the least. Alice Kessler seemed to be the one involved, and I think he was also the one who was in that magazine we just saw. So that will definitely be interesting. And then finally, we don't get too much, but we get the old pieces of the drawing in black and white. The one we saw with the alternative and the smiley guy, and, pretty much what we saw. So yeah, pretty much this one was a pretty short one. It's pretty much what we expected. And shoot, I just realized I forgot to show you this, so I'll go ahead and pull it up now. I'll go ahead and explain and then kind of show it a little bit. But recently, the creator stated that he wants to move away from the analog part of this series and go to more of a more normal horror thing. That's what he said on his Twitter or YouTube. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how that works. But it would be fine because at this point it looks like he's now jumping towards the 90s, and then finally we'll get into the 2000s, which makes sense considering the timing of how this is all work. I think he was already in the 2000s already, but now we're starting to truly slowly see how this is all boiling down. Now, how all this is connected, I don't know. But for sure, we'll be seeing the rise and connection towards the police more. And I hope that this video does give us some answers if this is really just a government cover-up of something of sorts, or technically this is kind of demons going after people. I'm just saying that's the only thing I'm still confused on at this point, but I'm thinking it's still the former, but it could be latter. It looking like it could be latter, but anyways and stuff. Oh, and by the way, something that doesn't really be noted, but it is one last thing I need to point out. Just like the previous video, this is obviously free. It's a reference to 666, the evil number. So, yeah, apparently they're continuing that free, which means that the alternate are messing up the technology, which might be a clue of some sort. But anyways, like I said, this is pretty much it. I'm sorry for it being late, but as you can tell, there's nothing really much to go by. But I gotta keep my promise, and I'm definitely pumped and ready to get this series lit. Also, by the way, By the way, also I need to get rid of those photos, but don't worry, I will. But anyways, I just want to showcase all that. Hope you all having a good day. This has been Floxcat, and I'm snapping out of here. Bye.